Hey, welcome to week 3. I entirely forgot about this until about half an hour ago, so I think this is going to be a one-take wonder video, so hopefully I don't make a huge embarrassment of myself, because I am too lazy to edit right now. Alright, let's see what I learned this week. Insulation, if you want a better option than fiberglass, which would be understandable because fiberglass is toxic to breathe and also dangerous to touch. So it's kind of weird when you think about the fact that our walls are filled with it. Um, and it's kind of expensive and not environmentally friendly as well. So basically, if you want an alternative to that, there's a very simple thing you can do and just use blue jeans and newspapers apparently. They actually are shown to work better, and you can totally just scrounge up some old jeans and newspapers in like an hour, I'm pretty sure. So, yeah, I thought that was cool. Um, Number 2, wind is not just a random occurrence of our planet. It's caused by hot air rising towards the sky and colder air rushing in to fill it. So it's just like constant game of air going all over the place. I don't know. My brain cannot do things right now. Sorry. Um, Number 3. Uh, you might have heard of a guy called Edison, Thomas Edison. He's sort of famed as that electricity guy, the big light bulb and everything. But there's also another guy you might have heard called Tesla. He did some pretty great things with electricity too. He invented the alternating current and transformer, both things that we use all over the place in our world. Um, but he disagreed with Edison quite a lot. And their sort of main disagreement was over alternating current and direct current, I think is what it is, yeah. Edison was for direct current and Tesla was alternating current, and it was just like two different ways of um, sort of doing electricity circuitry and stuff. So the alternating current was way better for sending electricity to like faraway places, and it eventually did win out. It's what we use for a lot of our stuff today. But before that victory came along, Edison did some really crazy things to fight against Tesla and this alternating current. He was kind of a mental case. He electrocuted animals in public. So there were like dogs, and he electrocuted an elephant, which is just really sad. Um, and he just wanted to get like this horrible association with alternating currents. So he used alternating currents to electrocute these things. And another one was the first person to be electrocuted instead of being hanged for their crimes. William Kendler is his name, and Edison sort of managed to get them to use AC current for this electrocution, but it went like horribly wrong. The first, I think they did like 10 seconds or something for the first attempt at executing him, but it didn't work, and he was just like flailing around and just like looked like he was in extreme pain, and like everyone was extremely like horrified by it. But then he was still breathing when they finished, so they had to do it again, and they had to leave it on for an entire minute of being charged with who knows how much electricity, um, and really really crazy things like blood coming out of your sweat glands and stuff like that, and it was just really horrible. um, and I guess everyone found out that it was alternating current, but it still won out, and basically Edison was a horrible person, and I think that everyone should realize that, and he shouldn't be so famous. But yeah, um, don't play with electricity, it's dangerous. um, Beef. Beef is really bad. This is my number 4 thing. Um, I'm a vegetarian, so I'm always pro for not eating meat of any kind. But if you really, really want to continue eating meat, but you do want to make a difference environmentally, you should stop eating beef because compared to other animal products like poultry, pork, eggs, and dairy products, um, beef production releases 5 times more greenhouse gases, which is obviously linked to global warming and climate change, which is really, really bad. And they use 28 times more land, which takes away trees, which means that we're not getting as much carbon absorbed, which is always bad, and also destroys like species and stuff in these lands that would otherwise be living there. They consume 11 times more irrigation water for feed. So much of these resources are being given to the food just to produce these animals, when you could just be producing these plants and eating the plants yourself. And apparently, the average American who switches from beef to pork would reduce the equivalent of 540 kilograms of carbon dioxide a year. 540 kilograms of carbon dioxide a year. That's pretty significant. Um, and if you need like a baseline or a comparison to that, it's like the same emissions you get from 230 liters of gas burnt in your car. So, it is possible to make a difference with your eating choices, your buying power, and I know it's easy to get eaten up in the idea of like, oh, I'm one person in 7 billion. Like, how can I make any difference? But like, if you tell people about these things and you try to do this a year after year after year, and you get into these habits, it's very, very possible to make differences. Um, and yeah. Uh, Thus ends this week. Um, Thanks for listening, watching, and I will see you next Sunday. Cool. Bye.